Hello and welcome new players to Dead by Daylight. Let me just introduce myself. My name is Hybrid Panda. I've been playing this game for 3 years. I've got nearly 3,000 hours. I've made over 300 videos on the game and I stream it over on Twitch regularly. I'm making this video just as a way to introduce you to the game and to try and just familiarize yourself with what's going to happen when you first join, because I feel like a lot of people are going to join Dead by Daylight and start playing it and they're not going to have a great time off the bat, and I'm going to try and explain why in this video. I just want to quickly go over a few basic things. If you've not already done the tutorial system, there is an inbuilt tutorial system in the game. It's not very good though, it's pretty damn bad, but if you complete both the survivor one and the killer one, you get 50,000 blood points for each one, which will give you a bit of experience to be able to spend on a character and level them up and start unlocking perks and unlocking more perk slots and the such. This is a game about progression and unlocking stuff as you go along. Every single different character in the game, both Killer and Survivor, all have 3 specific perks to them that are their own perks, and if you level them up to level 30, 35, and 40, you can unlock these perks and then they'll be available to all the other survivors and other killers in the game. So if you are able to level every single character in the game up to level 40, you could then potentially unlock any perk from any of the survivors, or if you're playing Killer, any of the killers on any character. The survivors are essentially meat suits. Every single survivor is exactly the same apart from their physical appearance. However, the killers in this game not only look different from each other, but each one has a specific power and set of tools given to them to try and defeat the survivors. Now these vary from placing traps on the ground to being able to teleport around. We have the Huntress who can throw hatchets across the map. We have Freddy Krueger who is invisible to other survivors until he draws them into the dream world. We have the Plague who pukes in people's faces and makes them sick and makes them vulnerable. The killers are really where the huge variation in this game lies. If you open up the character info sheet, then you can see each different character, you can read all of their lore, and you can also see the 3 perks that are specific to them. This is what a survivor looks like when they have every single perk in the game. Each perk you get can then be ranked up 2 times until they're rank 3, and that's where they have the most power. So you can see that we've got 5 pages here of perks. These are all the different perks in the game. There is a handful of them that come at base level that every single person has access to, but the majority of these are taken from other survivors. There is also a system called the Shrine of Secrets. If you go to the store, you can click Shrine of Secrets at the top, and every single week, starting on Wednesdays, they refresh these 4 perks. These are 4 perks from different survivors and different killers. We tend to have recently 2 killer ones and 2 survivor ones. And you can unlock these by earning iridescent shards, which you gain by just leveling up your account. So basically just playing the game, you'll level up this number here, and you'll get iridescent shards, and then when you have 2,000, you could potentially go and buy one of these perks, which will mean that you won't have to level up a character, or at least if you level up a character, you'll already have one of those 3 perks. I run a weekly show on my channel called Shrine Watch, where we go and check out all the news coming out of the community, and I also go and check out these perks, explain them fully, and we try and get them to work in some games. So if you're new to the game and you're interested in finding out some more about what's up on the Shrine each week, definitely check out Shrine Watch. So let's get into the meat of the video and the issue that I think needs addressing here. Because so many new people are flooding into the game right now due to the Xbox Game Pass, it is going to be very, very tricky and very hard to actually have a fun time, in my opinion, in the very low ranks. The reason for this is that you're most likely going to have a killer in the game who does not really understand the process of playing killer, and at face value, you see that it's 4v1 and your objective is to kill the survivors. But the actual lore of the game is that we are trying to provide entertainment for this spider-like force called the Entity, and the ways to actually get the most experience in this game and to also rank up through the ranking system is not just trying to instantly eliminate survivors from the game. Keep in mind that as the killer, as this strong, powerful force that's trying to take on these people that cannot fight back at all, you really are the game master of the game. That's how I like to think of Dead by Daylight myself, and I am a killer main. I play mainly killer, and I absolutely adore it. But if you try and keep in mind that the other 4 people in the game, the 4 survivors, they're all people too, and they all want to have a fun time, and it's absolutely possible to kill everyone without having to play in a dirty way that's going to upset other people. And also, at the end of the day, it's fine if they escape. It's not the end of the world if survivors escape on you. It's not the end of the world if you don't rank up, because honestly, you'll get the most experience, you'll get the most blood points from actually having a long game where you're chasing people around, each person gets a couple of hooks in them, and you're actually running around, defending your generators, and actually playing the game. Now, I'm just going to explain a little bit of terminology when it comes to Dead by Daylight. First off is going to be the word camping. Camping in Dead by Daylight means that when you knock down a survivor and hook them up, you actually don't walk away from the hook. You don't give the other teammates an opportunity to actually come in and save that person. And by doing this, you're actually screwing yourself over. You'll get much less blood points and you will get much less excitement out of the game if you just play in this way. Instead, after you hook a survivor, go off and try and find someone else. Go and kick a generator. Go and actually try and defend your objectives. If you just stick around someone that's up on the hook and wait for them to die, then the other survivors are going to be out there doing generators, and then they're potentially all going to escape, and no one's going to have a particularly interesting game, especially that one person that you're camping there. Keep in mind, they're trying to have fun and they're trying to play the game as well, and if you just sit there and make sure they don't have fun, well, that's not really great, is it? And our second phrase is tunneling. Tunneling in Dead by Daylight is when someone is rescued from the hook, instead of going for anyone else, you make your mission to go and knock that same person that's just been rescued back down and put them back on the hook until they're dead. Kind of the same as camping, this kind of provides that player with a not very fun game experience, and at the end of the day, there are other things that you could be doing that are going to make the game more exciting, the entity's going to enjoy it more, and at the end of the day, you're going to enjoy the playstyle more once you get used to it. But still, you could heed all of the things that I'm saying and you could still be stuck around rank 20 to rank 18, having a really tough time with it. But I have to say, if you can manage to actually play the game the way that it's meant to be played, which will mean that you will rank up, it will mean that you will get blood points, and you actually, as you raise the ranks and you get out of the very base level where all of the brand new players are, you are gonna absolutely adore this game. At the end of the day, this is less of a horror game that it seems like when you come into it, and it's more of a very, very tactical, deep strategy game, basically hide and seek or cat and mouse, whatever you want to call it, but there is a lot of depth to this game with all the different perks that are in, and all the different playstyles, and all the different killers, each one with a completely unique power, and ways that it works, and ways that it flourishes, and things that it falls down on. But really your main objective should be trying to climb out of those initial base ranks where you're with every other new player who doesn't quite know what to play and they're not going to play the game in a fun way. If you imagine taking a bunch of people and putting them on a football field and saying, hey, here you go, here's a football, play the game. But none of these people know how to play the game, so they're going to try and figure it out, they're going to try and make their own rules, but essentially when they do know the actual rules of the game, then it suddenly becomes a lot more structured, it becomes a lot more fun, becomes a lot more competitive, and it can become a lot more intense. Now I'm making this video because I saw a lot of people last night complaining on the subreddit that they're playing the game on Xbox, they're brand new to it, and people are just being really rude to them, and they're not actually having a good time, they're not really understanding what's going on, and why these people are pissed off after the game and are sending them abusive messages and stuff like that. You gotta keep in mind that Dead by Daylight, because it is a 4v1 asymmetrical game, there is no balance of power. It's virtually impossible to actually balance a game where you've got one super strong killing demon and you've got 4 people who can't fight back at all. And due to this, it does mean that tempers can flare up, things can happen that feel a little bit unfair for both killer and survivor. Keep in mind that when you start this game off, the killer seems like an unstoppable demon, but when you actually learn the game and you get better at looping around objects and kiting the killer and losing the killer, that the game is actually incredibly tough for the killer when you've got organized people with good perks who know what they're doing and actually have an objective inset and they want to escape. So my main advice here is just try and stick with it, try and get past that initial bit where you're going to be up against brand new people and you're not going to understand why the games are not feeling so fun. And another tip that I have that I really always say to people when they say they're new to the game is that if you are playing killer and you like killer and you really like killer and you're not interested in survivor, play some survivor, because survivor teaches you how to play against the killer and killer teaches you how to play against survivor, and having both knowledge from both sides is really going to benefit you in every aspect of this game. A lot of people who play this game and actually get into it have got thousands upon thousands of hours because it draws you in. The progression system is really quite good, it is quite grindy, and it will last a long time for a new player. But there is so much to do, there's so much to unlock, there's new perks, new characters, new cosmetics to unlock, new killers to unlock, and also on schedule every 3 months we have a new chapter, which is a new killer, a new survivor, and a new map. And keep in mind, of course, the new survivor comes with 3 new perks, and the new killer also comes with 3 new perks, all of which can be unlocked and then used by all the other killers and all the other survivors. But you're going to have to pull yourself out of that section where you're at the moment and actually get a little bit better at the game and get a little bit more progressed. I will leave a link to my DVD playlist in the description, and of course also the Shrine Watch playlist. You can go and look at that. Even though the Shrine of Secrets updates every single week and changes its perks, you could still go back and watch old Shrine Watch and you'll be able to find out about these perks, find out about perks from different characters, and also how they're going to work in the game, and that might be able to influence you and figure out which way you want to actually start leveling, which character you want to get first, because you see that Teachable is really good. It's a good learning experience, I would say, Shrine Watch. Anyway, best of luck to you all in the fog. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic time with the game. I'm hoping that a lot of you will actually get used to it and get into the grind of things and actually stick around, because this community is absolutely fantastic. After games, there is likely to be some toxicity just because people have died, people have got fucked over, people have lost, people have won. It's going to be tough, but essentially when you get past that, people's tempers calm down very quickly. You might find someone that was toxic right after a game that was really pissed off with you, but honestly, give them 5 minutes, they're probably going to have calmed down a little bit. If you've been playing DBD for a while and you've watched this video and you've said, hey, Panda didn't mention this, then please do drop in the comment section some advice that you've got for a brand new player. At the end of the day, the more people playing this game, the absolute better. Have a lovely day, I will see you soon. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and I will see you next time. Panda out.